The Basement Dwellers podcast is brought to you by Player One Coffee.
At Player One Coffee, we're obsessed with gaming, coffee, and, well, gaming. Every one of our signature roasts is handcrafted and tasty as Get yours at playeronecoffee.com.
Plus, order your Player One Coffee through our affiliate link, and not only will you receive 5% off of your first order, you'll also help support our show in the process.
Press start to continue.
They are those who live in the shadows, who feed upon Doritos and Mountain Dew. They take comfort in their dark habitats as they watch reruns of sci-fi shows long past. They are the Basement Dwellers.
Show me what you got.
So say we all. So say we all. So say we all.
Indeed.
Yes. This is a fertile land and we will thrive. We will rule over all this land and we will call it this land.
Make it so.
Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy far from sun. I want to believe.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 4 of The Basement Dwellers, a bi-weekly podcast dedicated to all activities most enjoyed by those who spend their time in the deepest, darkest, and dankest of basements everywhere. I'm your host, Wes Tanner, and tonight we're going to be talking about E3, but first we'll be hitting up some nerdy news, playing another round of this season's game of Versus, Jesus Christ, already, and then ending the night having JJ give us some predictions as to what we could possibly see at this year's E3 convention. I'm joined as always by my fellow basement dwellers, Ethan, Ron, and JJ. Skeleton crew tonight. What's up, guys?
Yo, why? Hello there.
All right, so
We are talking like normal men. Hello.
So, I mean, we've had, I don't know, we had like an extra week in here because of scheduling conflictions, I guess. I don't know what, conflicts? There we go. Conflictions. Man, tonight is off to a good
chock full of conflictions.
Yeah, we're off to a good start. So what have you guys been up to? Anything new?
No.
I play a lot of video games. That's about it.
Yeah.
Spending too much money on Kickstarter, built a gaming computer again. So I'm Master Race again.
I finally got my new one up and going as far as the new hard drive installed and whatnot, but
oh yeah.
yeah, haven't really done much with it. Haven't had the time. Let's see here. I watched in between last show and tonight. I watched Thor Ragnarok finally, and I was hoping that either Drew or Tucci would be on here, because then I could both like break one of their hearts and because I thought it was fucking awesome. I don't know if you guys have all seen it, but I thought it was great.
I thought it was hilarious and it was a great movie, but I feel like it was almost not too serious enough, or too not serious.
I agree.
The seriousness was out the fucking window.
I get it, I mean, they kind of.
I loved Hela, but it seemed like whenever she was there, everything was always still funny, and there was like no like stress or tension about her destroying everything.
Yeah, I can see that.
It also seemed like they could have made it into two separate movies. Like I really wish that you could have seen more with the sister than it actually seemed like they spent a lot of time on the other planet, which was fine because that was great, but I didn't get to see as much other stuff as I wanted to.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. I think that kind of storytelling kind of really it really helps my mind focus on what's going on. And it's going to sound kind of weird saying this, but when movies jump around like that, like that's how my brain works. So like, you know, like if I'm on something for too long, like I have a hard time watching, like, what do they call them? Like slow burner movies.
Wait, hold on. If you're on something for too long,
No. No, like watching something. I don't know. Like, I gotta have it switch scenes or.
Predestination was like perfect for you.
So what?
Predestination.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You've not seen that?
No, I don't think I have.
You broken ass motherfuckers.
I'm sorry, but
it's
get on
really
that.
good.
Jesus.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
I'll add it to the list. And also, speaking of movies, I also watched and Ethan, I know you did too. I watched the new Tomb Raider.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think of that?
I enjoyed the fuck out of that.
I did too.
I mean, it was still action-y, whatever movie, but I thought it was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think the actual setup and like the first half of the movie was like perfection when it came to like Tomb Raider. Towards the last half, I mean, I don't know, it kind of lost me a little bit, but it was still really good. And I was really surprised because that movie didn't really get a whole lot of attention while it was in theaters, and I feel like it should have, because it was
the only thing that threw me off is how like screechy she was.
You know, this was like a different Lara Croft than from what everyone's like used to. I mean, she was definitely, like, if you've played any of like I know you have, but anybody out there, if you've played any of the new video games that came out, the new Tomb Raider games, especially
the less boobily video games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What was the one what was it? Rise of the Tomb Raider, or what was the one before that? It was, I don't know.
I think that's the most recent one, other than the one that's coming out.
Okay, no,
Shadow.
this. Oh yeah, this was anyway, the first one where she basically shipwrecks and is on the island and she's kind of fighting the you know, that's kind of like more of a survival. That's what this movie's like. And there was some scenes in there that I don't remember which game, because I have two of them, and I don't remember which opening sequence from which one it was, but they almost got it like shot for shot as far as the stuff with her dad and whatnot. But anyway, it was great. So if you guys get a chance to check it out and you haven't already, give it a shot. I know video game adaptations are not the best, but this one is actually pretty good. So yeah. Cool. And more movies. JJ, I've been waiting to ask you this on the show, but how was Solo?
It was adequate.
Like,
no, I mean,
it was a movie.
Seriously, like if you do go and see, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like it has everything that it needs to have. It does what it needs to do. It's not going to blow you away, but I went in with pretty low expectations, as I think a lot of people are. And I wasn't disappointed. I enjoyed myself. It was entertaining. There's some facepalm moments. Like there's one really big facepalm moment at the beginning of the movie that I won't spoil, but you'll know it as soon as you hear it. Okay. But I mean, it does its job. It's a fun little side movie. That what I really liked about it was that it wasn't like, you think Star Wars, you think galaxy, you think ending of life on a planet, you think the Empire, you think huge vast things, and this was just this short, small little side story that had to do with a criminal empire that's kind of doing these jobs and hurting small groups of people, and it was just a cool little side story.
That's awesome. And I know we've kind of, especially on the show, we've ragged on it quite a bit, and then once the reviews came out, they were kind of all over the place. So it is definitely one that I think everyone is going to have to judge for themselves. But
for sure,
based off of what you have said, that's kind of in line with what everybody else that I've talked to has said about it. I think someone on our Facebook page actually just said it's a solid B as far as the grading scale goes. And like, I'm okay with that. I mean, I think all the new Star Wars have been kind of a solid B right now. People would say that Rogue One was
bump Rogue One up a few notches.
Yeah. For moments, yeah.
Now it's time to see what's up in the world of nerdy news.
First up in How Long Has It Actually Been news via comicbook.com, Venture Bros is returning to Adult Swim finally. The Venture Bros...
Finally!
How long has it been? It's been like...
a couple years.
Couple years? Okay. The Venture Bros is finally returning to Adult Swim, and sooner than expected. While rumors surrounding the new season of The Venture Bros being in the works have been circulating for some time, the lack of any official comment from those actually involved in creating the series has led many fans to assume that if the rumors are true, it will still be a long time before the new season materializes. However, Forbes, I've been getting a lot of articles from Forbes lately about non-business related stuff, and that's kind of weird, but Forbes recently reached out to Adult Swim for an update on Venture Bros in relation to an article about Titmouse Inc., the production company that currently works on the series. Adult Swim tells Forbes that a new season of Venture Bros will air on the network this summer. That's soon. It's like summer now. Forbes noted that when Titmouse was asked about the new season, the studio remained tight-lipped. Whether this be because the studio is less confident in the release date than Adult Swim, or simply because they have a broader publicity plans for the release, and the rest is kind of unknown. Venture Bros, I have seen one season, I believe. How many are there?
Oh, you poor bastard.
How many are there?
Crap. I was just in there. Hang on, let me look again.
I've actually never seen it.
Okay, let me get this right.
Dude.
This is like
Hold on.
the
Venture Brothers 6 seasons.
6. Okay, Jesus, man. This is the. So we're on the same page. This is the show that it kind of spoofs off of Johnny Quest, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's
and
what
other shows, but mostly Johnny Quest.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yep. I remember bits and pieces.
Fucking brilliant.
It is great. But yeah, so I guess that's gonna be coming out this summer. That's cool. It's kind of weird that they just announced it though. I mean, I don't know. Is that kind of normal?
Every season of Venture Brothers took fucking forever to come out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as I'm being like hey, pretty much next
so far,
month.
But no, it was just like wait. Oh, look, new Venture Brothers.
Okay.
It's been 3 years. Cool.
Oh, that's kind of how I feel about that.
It's like Sherlock.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. What the fuck has been up with you lately? And you remember that? You remember that one day in chat where we were? You would answer my question literally the moment before I sent it in chat. Yeah, that was weird. So next up in Fuck Yeah More Giant Robot news via Konnichiwa magazine, a live action Mobile Suit Gundam movie has been approved by Hollywood. Steven Spielberg.
My brain wants to go yes, but at the same time it's going no, God, no.
Well,
don't fuck this up.
Apparently, Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One was an exciting film release over the summer since it drew many elements from across all aspects of pop culture. But the biggest draw for anime fans had to be the introduction of a live-action Gundam sequence.
That was pretty fucking cool.
The sequence saw the original RX-782 mobile suit from Mobile Suit Suit Gundam squaring off against Toho's Mechagodzilla. While the scene was met with much fan delight and praise after the film's initial release, now that the dust has settled, things are a bit different. While the suit looked fantastic, there are many finer details Hollywood directors are beginning to cry out for as they prepare for a Gundam live-action adaptation. According to recent reports, Mobile Suit Gundam production for the live-action movie will begin in the coming months. The details from Hollywood about the live-action movie have been kept under wraps, as this is the best part, as they don't want fans to constantly voice their concerns or opinions on how it should be made.
Fantastic.
As anime live actions seem to be such a touchy subject in the West, considering how unsuccessful their adaptation movies have been. I don't know. I say good on them. I mean,
they're anime fans. How bad could it get?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of curious which Gundam series they're doing, though.
I think they said it in the article, but I didn't want to sit there and read the whole thing.
But you didn't care.
I didn't recognize it, so yeah, I didn't care. But I mean, I have seen one Gundam show. I just don't remember.
I just want Gundam Wing because I want to see Death Side live action.
Gundam Wing was the one that I had seen before.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool.
All the other Gundam series are like watching Battlestar Galactica.
But
very long and political.
Well, Battlestar Galactica is awesome now.
It is.
It is.
Oh, okay, so they're cool then. All right.
They're really, really political.
That I think is going to be the tough part. Like, and it's just me doing exactly what they didn't want and bitching about the potential of it.
Don't worry, like, JJ. They're not going to listen to you.
They need to make sure that they, I think the draw with that is just gonna be like, oh, cool, we're gonna make giant robots fight. And it's like, no, it's a very small part of it. It's very, very political. It's gonna be more about the writing, and they need to nail that before anything else, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do that.
No, I'm not expecting.
Yeah, they should though.
That's why I'm wondering if it's gonna be Wing. You
know?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make it like the next wave Transformers. You know what I mean? That'd be my guess. I mean, they gotta like shock and awe and all that bullshit.
Right. Can be all Pacific Rim up in there.
There we go. Now on to some retro, but not anymore, gaming news via Sci-Fi Wire. Rush of pre-orders for the Atari's new VCS console has crashed Indiegogo website. Last year, Atari announced it was working on a new console that would harken back to the company's 2600 model, released in 1977, the first home video game system to popularize the removable cartridge idea. Pre-orders for the Atari VCS opened up this week, and that was a couple weeks ago, actually, on the product's Indiegogo page, and the demand was so high that it crashed the website. Featuring a sleeker, more modern look, the VCS was inspired by the 2600, but has so much more capability. Not only can you play hundreds of classic games like Adventure, Asteroids, and Centipede, but you can also access social media, streaming services, music, and modern games from a wide variety of independent developers.
So you can play Centipede and the Human Centipede.
Oh, Jesus.
Finally.
Finally. The Atari 2600 offers this amazing palette of iconic details. You got toggle switches and wood grain, and fins and angles. We looked at
wood grain if you pay extra.
Yeah. This is a quote. We looked at taking those core components and evolving it for the next generation, says Dana Krieger, a director of industrial design on the product in the VCS promotional video. With callbacks to the original ribbing and wood paneling in its updated design, the upcoming console is sure to inspire a nostalgia rush in anyone who grew up with the 2600 in the late 70s and early 80s. Originally shooting for a $100,000 goal, the Indiegogo campaign impressively surpassed it with over $2 million from fewer than 8,000 backers. That's crazy.
It's fantastic.
Atari fans still have a month left to buy in and can have the VCS shipped to their doorstep sometime this July. Good Lord. That's another one.
That's snappy.
Yeah.
Quick. Wow.
Man. That really snuck up. I know we talked about it.
I feel like they built them all and then said, "Hey, will you fund us for this?"
Yeah, we want to get all of our money.
I mean, that's what a good. I mean, you could probably do a whole show on what makes a good Kickstarter, but I mean, that in my opinion, that's what makes a good Kickstarter is you've already got the product, you're already ready to go, you're just using it to get your name out there.
Yeah, that's true, because there have been a lot of instances that I have run across. I couldn't name anyone specific right now, except one that we talked about on the show. I don't remember when it was, but of people backing a whole bunch of shit and then not getting any of their rewards from it, or what was it? There was something. Maybe it was a board game or something where the license expired. I'm trying to remember. I mean, we talked about it on the show, but
sure, it happens all the time too.
But yeah, like it went on for so long that the license expired and they were no longer able to make the game that everyone had, kickstarted. So yeah, I guess that's good on Atari. I'm anxious to see, like, I don't know, like if it's already coming out. I mean, because I had just heard about it this year. So if it's already coming out, like, I don't know, like, are they gonna plan on like being able to run, like, it says modern games, but it says from indie developers. I'm just wondering, like, if they're gonna get like the major, you know what I mean? Like if they're gonna get like EA
game
or Sega
producers.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, are they gonna be able to run newer games?
Yeah, if they made Atari specific, like if the Atari console was a new competitor for Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's going to be. To me, I don't get the impression that it's going to. But the indie developers part of that is probably going to be a good selling point, because indie games have blown up quite a bit on the big consoles too. So.
Well, especially if they're going to be able to make like old Atari games and that kind of stuff, because I mean those games back then were made by one person for the most part.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is kind of a thing that anybody can get involved in.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting. I was never. I mean, I never had an Atari. I had an uncle who had one, and I played it. But beyond that, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really tug on my
honestly, I never had an Atari either.
No,
and not for the $550 and up that they're running.
Good lord.
Yeah, they're not fucking cheap up there. And
Games
that's for a black
though.
one. If you want the wood grain one, get out the ass.
I have a copy. Fun fact: I have a copy of Super Mario Brothers on the Atari.
What?
Yeah, man, they made it, and I saw it in a vintage stock one time, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." I don't own an Atari and never have, and I probably never will. But I thought it was a cool little piece, so I picked it up and added it to my collection. It was like $15.
Have you ever looked up what it's worth?
I would imagine probably around that. Vintage stock is usually right around what it goes for. Oh, my voice didn't just crack. What it goes for on like eBay and that kind of stuff.
Okay. All right. I'd never heard of Mario and Atari, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it was the first one actually.
Jeez. All right.
Atario.
Next in Dear God, I Hope They Find It news via Bloody Disgusting. The most scientific cutting-edge hunt for the Loch Ness Monster begins this month. You've heard the stories. A massive, terrifying sea monster lives deep in the waters of Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands, only surfacing on very rare occasions to ensure that his legend lives on. Sometimes, most notably in 1934 by Robert Kenneth Wilson, Nessie is even captured in photos, furthering the belief that he's truly down there. The so-called Loch Ness Monster, of course, may not actually exist, but that doesn't stop countless people from believing in him, nor does it stop them from searching for the fabled Sasquatch of the deep. As reported by Reuters this week, a team of scientists will next month be taking a next-level, groundbreaking approach to that particular hunt. The site reports, quote, a global team of scientists plan to scour the icy depths of Loch Ness next month using environmental DNA, eDNA in an experiment that may discover whether Scotland's fabled monster really does or did exist. In layman's terms, everything that swims around in the water leaves behind traces of DNA from their skin, scales, feathers, fur, feces, and urine. From that DNA, scientists can determine precisely what has been swimming around in the body of water they're exploring. If the Loch Ness Monster is down there, this search should find him. Yes, Nessie's poop could ultimately be the thing that gives him away. The findings from this month's hunt will be made public in January of next year, 2019. I grew up being completely obsessed by Loch Ness Monster, so I was definitely happy to see this news. I mean, I'll watch any documentary. I know they're not gonna find shit, but it's still a cool thing to.
And you know what's great about this is that they're gonna be like, all this technology, they won't find it, and there will be like, that's definitive proof, and then 10,000 people are like, no, she's still down there. Let's keep looking.
Maybe she doesn't poop.
You don't know what her DNA is like. How can you cross-test exactly that? Certainly not. Parum.
Maybe she doesn't poop. Oh, her body.
Well, you know, if they say, well, she's 100% definitely not down there, what that's going to do to the tourism of Loch Ness?
Yeah, I know. They're like, well, the
One
lake's
big
pretty.
Giant Nessie poop is what you're going to get.
Okay.
Moving along.
Moving on, that's right. Moving on to some Give Me Unlimited Loot news via Forbes again, which is really weird. New unannounced Diablo game is confirmed by a Blizzard job listing. The article states, we'll get this out of the way up front. Yes, Blizzard has been openly hiring for some kind of Diablo project since the summer of 2017. However, a new job listing is proof positive that this is a new unannounced Diablo game, and almost certainly not a Switch port of this 6-year-old Diablo 3. Here's a quick poll from the listing, but the important details are below this. From the listing, the minions of hell are growing stronger. We're working on a new unannounced Diablo project. Are you a skilled dungeon artist? Come work with us and together we will build something exceptional. Our team of talented developers is growing. Our backgrounds are diverse, but we all share a real passion for what we do. We believe that if you're looking for a tight-knit crew that celebrates self-expression and embraces collaboration, we may be a phenomenal fit for you. The exact role Blizzard is hiring for is a dungeon artist, and the included responsibilities point towards this being an entirely new Diablo game, and not the Switch port that was rumored in March. For example...
Boy, I wish that was my job title.
Yeah, dungeon artist. For example, duties include building, quote, atmospheric dungeons, plural, with a focus on composition, detail, and mood. From the ground up, as well as being able to, quote, concept, model, and texture your work, end quote. The artist Blizzard hires will also, quote, serve as an active participant in team art discussions, critiques, and reviews. Additionally, the dungeon artist will work with the game's lead environment artist and art director to ensure all environments are meeting the high-quality bar Blizzard is known for. Environments, plural. Dungeons, plural. In addition to aligning with a team of additional artists and level designers. Stacked on top of the jobs Blizzard has already hired for, including associate producer, production director, and creative director. The writer of this article thinks that they're looking at Diablo 4, but at the very least, a new game in the Diablo world is what all signs point to. And will certainly undergo an excruciatingly long development period for fans, anyway.
Yes.
Yes.
That should have been in the job description. Feel free to take your time.
Yeah.
We don't need to release this for 4.5 years.
Yeah. Diablo's awesome. Janae and I play the third one. We've played it through, including the expansion. We've played it through probably 3 times already, and we're still going back, creating new characters, and running all the dungeons again. So it's
I still haven't played that.
Was like me with Diablo 2.
Yep, I was the same with Diablo 2.
Everyone was obsessed with Diablo 2. I had actually never played 1, but I had started with 2. My cousin had it on one of his PCs, and I played it that way, but I never had it myself.
Did you ever try to go back to play 1?
No, I still have not.
There's no run button.
I do know that they had an event in Diablo 3. I think it was at the beginning of this year or late last year, where they added, maybe it was from Diablo 2, but they added like the retro dungeons from one of those, either 1 or 2, into Diablo 3 that you could play. Like they actually like pixelated them to make it look like the older games. I didn't get a chance to do it, but I was too busy at the time. But yeah, they did it. But yeah, Diablo's cool. It's fucking awesome. I hope, even if it's not Diablo 4, anything in that universe, and like even like kind of like a spin-off game would be pretty fucking sweet. I mean,
that would be cool.
Anything Blizzard does is pretty good as far as content, story, and production value. Speaking of, JJ, I think I saw you playing World of Warcraft in Discord. Are you playing again?
Yeah.
Did it draw you back? No?
That's a loaded question.
Oh.
Well, it's like, because the new expansion looks kind of neat, and there's this thing called I think it's called Warfronts that are coming out. I don't know if you've heard anything about that.
I haven't.
It's basically like, you know what World of Warcraft is.
Yeah.
But if you've ever played Warcraft 3, it's basically like they're adding that into World of Warcraft. So they're making like battlegrounds where it's Horde against Alliance, and you have to like fight over resources and create units, and it's like basically like an RTS, but you're controlling your one character, and then you've got a group of other people that are controlling their characters as well. They haven't really shown too much about it other than talked about it, and I just think the concept sounds kind of neat. So we'll see. I typically, when an expansion comes out, I typically get to max level, and then I do the first raid, and then I kind of just bounce again. Final Fantasy 14 is my game. I go to that like constantly, but I'm just kind of like wrapping up a little bit of stuff in Legion. I've got some friends that still play, so I
actually I came back from it was a 6 or 7 year break last fall when during the Black Friday sales, because I think they had everything up through Legion for like, I don't know, it was like $20 or $25, and I was like, if I'm ever gonna do it, it's gonna be now. And I did. And I played for a couple months, and then school started, and I tried to log on every once in a while, and it just didn't work out, so I canceled my subscription, and it's been sitting ever since. I don't know if I'm ever going to go back, but I mean, hell, it was $25, so why not?
It's like,
it's a drug.
This is going to sound so stupid. I don't even know if I'm having fun while I'm playing it. Like, I literally, like, I'll be at work and I'll be like, oh, I gotta get home and do my dailies. Yeah. I guess I'll do that, and I'll get home and I'll just log in, do it, and then I'll be like, all right, that was cool, I guess.
That hurts my heart, JJ.
Do that again tomorrow.
That hurts my heart, because that is exactly how I felt for the longest time. I had a problem like way back in the day when I played it. I played it since it came out all the way until 6 or 7 years ago. Then life got crazy for many reasons, and I didn't touch it since. But yeah, like I was like addicted. Like I was like one of those people that you'd have to like tell me to like go to bed, because but I had very little responsibility back then. So, but anyway, off on a tangent. Diablo, Blizzard, good. Blizzard, Warcraft, good but bad for you. Last but not least, in this dude is basement dweller as fuck news via BBC. New York parents sue their 30-year-old son who refuses to move out. Did you guys see that? That's not even a satire article. All right, so I'm going to read through this real quick. It's a little long here, but the parents of a 30-year-old man have resorted to drastic measures in an effort to get their son to fly the coop. They are suing him. Court documents say Michael Rotundo does not pay rent or help with chores and has ignored his parents' offers of money to get him settled. Despite doling out 5 eviction letters, Christina and Mark Rotundo say their son still refuses to move out. Michael is arguing that legally he was not given enough notice to leave. Mr. and Mrs. Rotundo filled their case with the Onondaga County Supreme Court near Syracuse, New York, on the 7th of May, after months of unsuccessfully urging their son to leave. This would be empty nesters lawyer, empty nesters lawyer Anthony Adorante told Syracuse.com that the couple did not know how else to get their adult son out of their house. We have decided that you must leave this house immediately, reads the first letter, dated the 2nd of February, according to court filings. When Michael ignored the letter, his parents wrote up a proper eviction notice with the help of their lawyer. You are hereby evicted, a 13th of February notice signed by Mrs. Rotundo read. A legal enforcement procedure will be instituted immediately if you do not leave by the 15th of March 2018. The couple then offered their son $1,100 to move out, along with some sharp commentary about his behavior. Quote, there are jobs available even for those with a poor work history like you. Get one. You have to work, they said. By the 30th of March, however, it was becoming clear that their son had no intentions of leaving. In April, Mr. and Mrs. Rotundo went to their local town court to see if they could evict their son, but they were told that because Michael is family, they would need a Supreme Court justice to officially send him packing. According to WABC News, Michael has called his parents' lawsuit retaliatory and has asked the court to toss out the request. The Rotundo family will take their case to the Supreme Court later this month.
Of course it's retaliatory. You won't move out. They're retaliated. You move out.
The Supreme Court, guys. This is a Supreme Court case. This is the most fucking stupid thing I've ever heard. But you know what?
Story, but did you see who's helping him out?
Was it Alex Jones?
Yep.
I did see that.
$3,000 or something.
Yeah. Oh God. All right, the dude is basement dweller as fuck. Rock on, man. Hope you find your own place and can fill it with whatever makes you happy.
That guy's getting ready for Legion, I guarantee it.
Yeah. All right, and with that, we're going to take our first commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to play a short game of Versus. And yeah, stick with us. We'll be back. Hey nerds, Wes here. Just wanted to give a quick rundown of some new things we've done for this season that you should definitely check out. First off, make sure to take a look at our newly redesigned website at www.tbdpod.com. And if you're already there, then great. Take a look at the show info where you'll find, you guessed it, info about the show. Things like episode archives, crew bios, how to join our Discord server, as well as ways you can subscribe to the podcast. Next, let me direct your attention to the Support the Show link where you can find some ideas on how you can help us keep the lights on. Help us out by buying some kick-ass coffee from Player One Coffee. Buy something from Amazon using our affiliate links, or hell, just treat yourself and us by becoming a TBD patron via our newly launched Patreon page. And as always, thanks for listening. Now, back to the show. And we're back, and we are going to play another round of this season's Versus game. I don't know if you would quite call it a tournament yet, but yeah. So what we do with Versus is we randomly choose two fictional characters, pair them against each other in a fight to the death, and argue about which one would win. So how this works is we're going to have someone roll 2 random numbers. They correspond to 2 different characters, so everything will be randomly generated, and then we'll go from there. So can 2 of you guys give me a roll in Discord? A D20 roll, please.
13.
Yeah, 13.
15.
13 and 15. All right, just a second.
I got.
All right. This is still.
Oh shit!
This is still.
We broke Wes.
Nah, yeah. Well, good thing you're here because this is like one of your picks here. So
they're all mine.
Yeah. So our first contender for tonight is Papa Smurf.
Oh boy!
Oh my god!
And his challenger is Kratos from God of War.
I knew we need to do this
tonight in the best of one-sided fight.
Yeah, no, listen, all right, we gotta play it out because
we gotta do this right.
Because Ethan, all right, Ethan.
Yeah.
God damn it. Well, Papa Smurf is all you, buddy. All right.
I'm surprised. So was Kratos. So fuck you.
Oh, was it? Okay. JJ, have you ever set up a scene before?
You take seriously.
The first time that I did it, you had me do Mario versus somebody else. I don't remember who it was.
I think it was Deadpool, maybe.
I think it was. Yeah.
You think you could do this one?
Yeah, hold on. Let me Google Papa Smurf battle abilities real quick.
Oh man, yeah, that
his leadership, he gets a +10.
Oh yeah.
Please, what is he gonna do? Lead himself?
The Smurfs. Battle cry.
Well, let's just put it this way. All right, Papa Smurf will have the entire resources of the entire Smurf race at his disposal.
Okay.
Because I don't know, he needs all the help he can get, right?
Well, I mean, it's the Smurfs primarily takes place in the forest, and God of War kind of takes place a little bit everywhere. So I think the forest is probably a solid. Plus, we got to give Papa Smurf some sort of advantage.
Yeah.
So
well, real quick,
I would say the
here.
forest.
Let's. Ethan, what version of Kratos you want to go with?
There are different versions.
Well, there's the Greek setting and then the Norse setting.
The new Norse setting.
Okay.
I mean, he's still a Greek guy, so who cares?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. This one he uses an axe or yeah. All right, JJ, go, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I mean, I'm like trying to come up with ideas in my head, and all I can do is just see Kratos like smashing him over the face with a giant something. I think the first thing Papa Smurf is going to do is they're in the woods, and Papa Smurf is probably going to be hidden at first. He's going to be waiting for his sneak attack. And Kratos he's the big early like I'm going to run in swinging. So he's running around looking for Papa Smurf, and I would say Papa Smurf has probably booby trapped this area along with the help of his are the other Smurfs his minions?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that how this works?
I don't know.
Tribe?
You know what? I think
his children.
I think
it's more of a tribe type thing.
I think Ethan has to be the one to say what Papa Smurf is going to do. I mean, he put him down on the list, and I have no fucking clue. So,
oh man,
don't Smurfs have some sort of magic? I really don't know.
I don't know.
Hold on. Okay, so yeah. I just read this.
So,
oh man,
Kratos is walking along in the forest one day, and then he lifts his foot up and sees all this blue goo on the bottom of his foot. There's the scenario.
Fight over. Oh yeah, and it sends.
Oh no, he stepped on all the other Smurfs except Papa Smurf.
It sets Papa Smurf into a rage,
and
now,
Smurf rage
magic.
Yep.
Blue Smurf blood rage.
So like I said, I googled it, and there's two abilities that I found out that both of these could be really useful. First one, there's apparently an episode where Papa switches bodies with Gargamel, the evil guy from the show.
Oh dear!
And so he can actually switch bodies with somebody. And then in another one, he creates an entire village full of evil doubles of the other Smurfs.
Oh my god.
Like, he could make an evil, the second Kratos just to fight himself.
Good lord. Okay.
Man.
So you're saying there's a chance.
A very small blue chance, but he has a chance.
All right. Ethan, what do you think, man? How does this go?
Well, I mean, we all know that Kratos is a big, badass, half god of killing shit dead. But in the same token, he's A, not going to be expecting a Smurf to fuck his world up.
Mm-hmm.
And B, we've seen Smurfs take on Gargamel and Azrael consistently for 1,000 seasons. And not a Smurf yet has died. So I'm giving a slight advantage to Papa Smurf in the fuck you, you're not expecting this category.
Okay.
I mean, you never know. He might just climb up Kratos' old brown eye and fucking give him ulcers or something. I don't know. God damn.
Yeah, I don't see that spell on the list.
Yeah.
No, double check.
All right, Ron, what about you, man?
That was a D&D game Ron and I were playing.
Oh, yeah.
Devil's Anus.
Ron, how do you see this going?
Well, see, going off of whole, I definitely see Papa Smurf winning.
Winning?
It's always the little guy. You never underestimate the little guy.
Okay.
I don't know how
he's old for a reason.
Right, survival.
He's got magic.
He's going to climb up Kratos' back and shove himself down his throat and like explode his face. That's what's going to happen.
Can Kratos die?
I don't know. He's going to lose his memory.
I don't know.
I thought he was just a demigod.
I don't think he's immortal.
I feel like maybe he died in one of the
It was 2, wasn't it?
So every time I tried to
one
play,
of the
he
early
died.
ones. Yeah. Yeah, I think he died in one of the earlier ones, and they brought him back.
Yeah.
He was pissed.
Because Greek gods do that shit.
Yeah. Okay, so all right. So he can die. All right, so we have Papa Smurf being able to crawl in various orifices and explode like an alien chest burster out of Kratos, which I like that idea.
I'll never be able to watch the Smurfs again.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna picture.
And we all know that Kratos is a sucker for sex because we've all played the video games.
You think he's gonna...
Papa Smurf could totally have Smurf seduce the shit out of him.
This is true.
In that bizarre 2-inch blue sort of way.
Yeah.
Has everybody lost their innocence yet?
Yeah,
anyone? Fuck you.
Damn it. I don't know what to say to
I'm
that.
happy, please.
No. Oh, God.
You can't see it, but I'm rocking in my chair right now.
All right. Do we have anything else to consider? We already know that Kratos, he can go into like God rage, but
I mean, is that going to help him though? If somebody
that's the thing,
blows
though.
up from his insides.
Consider D&D rules. How many negatives do you get when you're normal size and you're trying to fight something that's tiny?
That's a good point.
And the opposite for the other way?
So
Papa Smurf's got a bunch of bonuses to hit already.
Kratos is like, so this is what it feels like to be one of the Greek gods that I climbed on top of and started fucking up.
He's got like a plus 20 to anal spelunking.
Yeah, we totally just turned this into Shadow of the Colossus, but with Papa Smurf as the main character.
Pretty much, yeah.
Anal diving? Yeah, okay. All right, guys. I can't believe... Like...
Say it.
All right, no, here it is. Round robin vote. I mean, who... JJ, what say you? Kratos or
Smurf?
Okay. Ron, what about you?
Papa Smurf.
And Ethan.
Papa Smurf.
Yeah. Yeah, that just happened.
That seems to be par for the course here.
that just happened. Okay.
Also, just because it gave me a good laugh, if you ever want to see something funny that will really ruin your childhood, YouTube Papa Smurf, Can I Lick Your Ass?
Oh my God.
There is a song like that, and it's
now the theme song to this fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I can find that.
The whole song is basically just like, I'm not gonna lick your ass. You're gonna lick my ass, bitch. And that's the whole song.
I feel like I've seen that somewhere in the annals of, internet history.
The annals. The annals.
The anal internet history.
Oh, I'm writing a note right now. Look up Papa Smurf. What? Ass lick song? Jesus Christ. I'm going to be confused later when I go back to edit.
You'll know it when you find it.
Yep. Okay. So... And what has to be, for this show, we shouldn't be surprised. Because
not even close.
Because it just had to go this way. The fight between Papa Smurf and Kratos from God of War ends with Papa Smurf crawling through Kratos, and just bursting forth from his intestines.
On his spleen.
Yep. Having a grand old time playing with his internal organs before bursting forth like a blue devil. And thus ends the God of War. Do we want to do another one? See if we can get an epic matchup here.
Even more bizarre.
Does it get much better than that? I don't know.
I was pretty convinced it was going to go the other way.
Me too. All right, so round 2. I need. Oh shit! You're already on top of it.
19.
19. Okay, we got 19. One more roll.
9.
Ooh. All right.
Oh,
that sounds sexy.
Oh my.
Oh my.
The next matchup, this one's actually pretty good, is Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica, the new one, the female Starbuck, versus, oh shit, River Tam.
Oh, damn.
Yep, from Firefly.
Yep, those ones were technically for next week, but like you said, there was a lot.
We got a lot of them, so we'll get this epic matchup going here. Ron, do you think you can set up a scenario between those two?
I'm going to be honest, no, because I don't know who the first one is.
You don't know Starbuck?
No.
All right, Ethan, what about you, man?
Well, let's see. They're both in space.
That's where we start. In space.
They're both pretty much based on Earth having had existed, so it's a continual universe. I can deal with that. I'm gonna say that the Firefly somehow managed to bump into the Galactica and is probably on a job and is trying to jack it.
Okay.
And somehow Starbuck and River Tam, because River, she gonna wander off and do a thing. So she's wandering around the hangar while Starbuck's trying to get up in her Viper, and shit happens. Go.
Okay. So.
Okay, I know who she is.
You know who she is now?
I looked her up, and I remember watching, because I watched at least the first season of the new Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good.
Because who watches the old ones?
Yeah, not me.
I did when I was 7. Shut up, fuck you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I did.
So let's start this off. Who wants to throw in for who?
I think it's going to depend on where they fight. River is going to have the advantage outside of a ship, but then inside of a ship, flying, Starbuck's going to have the advantage.
Yeah, no, this will just be a ground fight. So I don't think River can technically pilot. She can.
Would it surprise you?
It wouldn't, but I think this has to be more based off of them as people as opposed to what they're driving.
Right.
Then I think the best chance that Starbuck would have would be to outsmart River.
That'll be tough too. She's damn near clairvoyant. So.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
It's been a while since I've seen Firefly. I just remember her kicking ass.
Because that's what she do.
So I guess this is how I see it. So if are they on the Galactica, Ethan? Is that what you set it up?
Yeah.
Okay. So River kind of gets lost, and she ends up bumping into Kara Thrace as she is heading towards her Viper. I assume they both kind of don't really know, because the Galactica is filled with a whole bunch of citizens from oh God, what the fuck planet were they from? I guess all of them really, but Caprica, there we go. So she probably doesn't know everybody, so I would assume that she probably doesn't assume that River is not supposed to be there. That sound about right? Yep. So she might be startled, but I doubt she would like draw on River. And the same would go for River. I don't think she would. Shit, how are they going to fight?
I was going to say.
They just pass each other in the hall, give each other a quick nod.
Is closing soon.
I feel like my setup was bad too, because I feel like that's one of those jobs the Firefly would do, or the Serenity would do.
Yeah.
But then realized that they did a stupid thing because it's full of citizens and that they would feel bad. And then all the feel-good stuff on the show would come on, with morals and
all that bullshit, right?
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with this. And
okay,
I don't know.
So,
I mean, Starbuck's a badass soldier, but I don't know much about her past that as far as her personality. Like, is she just a rock-hard bitch, or...
I see. Here's the thing, though. I think if she knew that River was a threat, she would draw on her and probably tell her to, like, you know, back up against the wall, or I don't think she would attack first outright. But, okay, so how I see it, forget the fucking logistics. Let's just say that...
It's happening.
Yeah, it's been reported that there is a crew, a foreign crew, that is trying to hijack the Galactica, and on their way, Starbuck runs into River, and they realize that hey, you're not supposed to be here. So I would assume that Starbuck would probably draw her sidearm and point it at River, which would then probably send River to retaliate by trying to disarm her in some way. So how do we see this going? Because this is actually a good fight. There's really nothing funny about this one. So like this.
Yeah, no, and I still feel like this is one of those fights that isn't going to happen because of River's intuition. Because I feel like she's going to know that Starbuck technically isn't a threat, but we passed that and we say the fight is happening. So
yeah. Starbuck is very...
Maybe Starbuck was wearing a Blue Sun t-shirt. That'll do it.
Well, Starbuck is very stubborn, so I doubt she would let River kind of just play it peacefully. You know what I mean? So I would assume that Starbuck would probably be the instigator in the fight, and River would be more of the...
defender.
Quit pushing me before I completely... tear you apart type deal.
Didn't we establish that River was there to try and steal the Galactica anyway?
Yeah.
Well, no, the crew is. River just does her own thing.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm pretty sure like Starbuck would be the instigator, and River would you know, just purely react to it. So it would depend on how aggressive we have Starbuck in this scenario. Which I think if
and how crazy River is at the moment.
Yeah. And I think having just, you know, survived the Cylon attacks and everything like that, I think Starbuck would probably be pretty not chill with any other bad things happening. So I'd imagine she'd be pretty aggressive.
My problem is other than piloting, I don't know anything about Starbuck's fighting style, or
is she just... That's it.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
Just general military training. So she has like the basic self-defense skills. She is pretty... Yeah, she does box.
Yeah, I feel like if she cornered River, if River went into one of her
fugue states,
fight or flight scenarios, I think she would own Starbuck, because Starbuck's too... I mean, she might be hot-headed, but I feel like she's too straightforward, and just like, I do the thing, I shoot the thing is dead.
See,
whereas River's gonna be a crazy little fucking spider monkey.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I view Starbuck kind of as like the female Malcolm Reynolds. So honestly, I do. They kind of have a very similar
she can
personality.
Adapt and improvise, yeah, but I don't think even Malcolm could adapt and improvise to River.
No.
He managed to, you know, wrangle her a few times, but I feel like if the scenario was right, I think River would fucking own Malcolm too.
Okay. Ron, what do you think, man?
Honestly, I'm going to go with River again. But what's funny is, like, for some reason, I'm getting, like, the whole Picard Han fight that we did, like, forever ago.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. I'm just getting that whole weird vibe again. Like Starbuck is Picard in this situation, and River is Han.
Very tactical and...
Yeah. That whole
two
kind
different...
of thing.
Yeah. See, there are definitely some differences, but I see it. Yeah. So okay,
I mean, my money is on River.
All right. Yeah. Let's get down to that then. How do you? I feel like it's probably weighted in River's favor just for the sheer fact of the skill that River possesses when she's in the right or the wrong state of mind, I guess. So
whatever they pumped into her to kill Reavers is a very aggressive style of fucking shit up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shit, that whole ending sequence with in the movie, we won't give any spoilers. Yeah, that was pretty indicative of
if she can do
combat skills. So, yeah.
And there's only one Starbuck, so
yeah. All right, JJ, what do you think, man?
Oh, River. Definitely.
River. Okay. All right, Ethan, vote.
Yeah, River.
River. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna give it to River too. As much as I love Starbuck, I think it would need to be the right scenario for Starbuck to come out ahead. So unfortunately,
and I almost feel like even if they were in ships, River's intuition would somehow take over.
That one might actually be
It'd be tough,
interesting fight too.
Kara would at least have more of a leg to stand on if that were the case.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So, and tonight's second matchup with Starbuck versus River Tam, we're going to give it to River Tam. So, thus concludes this episode's versus matchup. I don't know. Words escape me. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take another quick, short break. And when we get back, we're going to launch into our main segment. JJ is going to run us through what we could probably expect from E3 this year. So stay tuned, and we will be back momentarily. Do you like role-playing games? How about podcasts? How about a podcast about a role-playing game? Check out our friends at Tomorrow's End, a podcast that follows a role-playing group as they navigate through a post-apocalyptic wasteland. All right, enough fucking words. Here's the trailer.
How did humanity get here? I just can't remember. The rest of the world didn't know why the end had come. They'd heard on the radio about an attack on the states by either Russia or China over dwindling resources. What we knew was that the world was going to end, and a crazy man named Morrow had a plan to save the world. Many teams were frozen in vaults deep underground, safely tucked away from all the bombs and nukes flying, and the asteroid that would finally end everything. They were supposed to wake up 25 years later and help pick up the pieces, but something went wrong, and everyone woke up a lot later, if they woke up at all. Cultists, criminals, madmen, they've been living and thriving through the radiation and destruction the entire time. Some good people also survived. They held on to hope by spreading stories. Stories about tomorrow's end.
And then there were three. Ron had to take off during the break to go to some taco festival or something, truck show or whatever.
He's taking his tacos to NASCAR.
There we go.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous.
Yeah. So we're back, and JJ has a little something prepared for us regarding E3. And before we get into that, JJ, can you talk about your YouTube channel, because this was a topic that you've already gone over on your channel. So yeah,
sure.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So I think we've mentioned before on here that I used to do a podcast called The Frozen North. It was all just about video games and stuff. We did 100 episodes, and then basically on the 100th episode, I was like, this is it for us, but keep an eye on our YouTube channel sometime in the future. And I kind of didn't do anything for like 2 years. So I'm sure a lot of people probably just fell off and left. But I basically went back and at some point uploaded all of our old episodes to it and didn't really do much with it until recently, maybe like a month ago. So the name of the channel is Reminiscence Revival, and I'm going to spell that because I'm kicking myself for naming it like that because it was everybody's always like, how the what? So
I keep
but it's
forgetting.
Reminiscence Revival.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Right, but it's the banner looks really cool though.
It does look
my friend
really
Alex
cool.
made a really cool banner for it, so I like that. But it's basically just me talking about games, my experience with them growing up, telling stories, and as you can tell, like right now, I love to ramble, and I really like video games have meant so much to me growing up, and that it's kind of like an homage to everything gaming related that's affected me in a positive way. So it's just a story of my life in gaming. I talk about my collection. I talk about specific memories I have. And like just recently I did an E3 speculation kind of thing, which is kind of what we're going to go over here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's all there, and check it out.
Good deal. And for those of you listening, we link to JJ's videos whenever we can. So scroll through our page. You should be able to find plenty of links to his videos. Make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. If you like this kind of stuff, I mean, he talks about it, so it's just another avenue for you to get some cool content going. So, all right, man, go ahead and take it away with E3.
All right, so yeah, E3 2018. There's actually like quite a bit that's already. I mean, like every year, a lot of it has leaked in advance. There's not 100% way for anybody to really know like what is going to be there, but we always get a pretty good idea leading up to it. I think we're recording this on Tuesday, actually Wednesday, tomorrow night. By that time, the episode may not be out yet, but we'll have this announcement will have been gone. Sony said they're going to announce their lineup on Wednesday, 6/6. So tomorrow we'll know. Right now we do not. So anything on here from Sony that I mention, you might be like, well, that's bullcrap. They already talked about this, but I don't know right now. So I just want to clear that up.
Yeah, this won't be out till Saturday, so there'll be plenty of time for all that to be wrong or right. So
right, and these actually aren't even like predictions necessarily. They're more kind of just speculation, things I would like to see, and then things I would expect some of these companies to do. So I guess partly prediction, but more just hey, we haven't heard from this. We want to know what's going on. So I figured.
When does the actual event start? Does it start tomorrow, or is that just Sony's?
No, E3 actually starts this Saturday with EA.
Okay.
I believe EA is first, and then Sunday has a few conferences, then Monday, and then Tuesday. And I think Nintendo might even be going Wednesday.
Okay.
Either Wednesday or Tuesday. Either way, it's like the beginning of the week, and then the actual E3 conference. I don't know if anybody listening or if you guys have ever been there. I went once, and basically the way it works is they'll do the press conferences in advance, and that's anybody at home. That's kind of what we look for. Whereas after the press conferences are done, they'll have 3 days of where you can go and actually try out the games, and they'll have a huge conference where you basically just go to the LA Convention Center and big video game playground. It's all technology and VR and new stuff that's coming out. Everybody's showcasing everything, and that's more for like it's industry focused, but you can go as a fan as well. You're going to be standing in a lot of lines, but that's more for people who are there. Obviously, they want to know what's going on at the panels and stuff too. But the panels are basically what we, as viewers from home, look towards.
Good deal, man. All right, so you have EA coming up first. They're on Saturday?
Yeah, actually, real quick, I think I can pull up a schedule.
And I know with E3, like everything leading up to it, during and after is pretty much, if I don't know what you would compare it to, but there's a lot of stuff that comes out. Everybody and their brother are doing like Twitch streams or their YouTube channels and reactions, and you'll see a whole bunch of live play demos if they're allowed to record it and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're always fun. Like if there's a game that you've been looking forward to that's been teased and they announce it, like usually you can see all sorts of like the demos being played of it and whatnot. But yeah, man.
So Saturday, June 9th, you've got Electronic Arts. EA is going to be, they're the only ones that are going on Saturday. And they actually have, I don't know if you guys know who Andrea Renee is. She's pretty well known among like fans in the industry. She works her butt off, like has done a crap ton as far as like promoting, and she worked for a few of the big name companies, and she does her own podcast now. But she's actually got the opportunity to host for Electronic Arts, which I thought was really cool. I just wanted to mention it because she just is such a huge. She's an influence that not enough people know about, in my opinion. She just does such a great job and really genuinely has a passion for the industry, which is really cool.
Yeah, I've never heard of her.
Yeah, you may have seen her. She actually hosted the Nintendo World Championships last year, I believe, as well. But she's awesome. So she'll be hosting Electronic Arts, which is great also because typically when EA gets up, a lot of times people are kind of like, oh, here we go, sports titles and microtransactions. This will be great.
Loot boxes.
So hopefully,
damn you.
Right, hopefully she can bring a little flair to that. We're expecting to see something on the new Battlefield, World War II. A little more info on that, hopefully. I can tell you when I went in 2015, that's when they announced the last Battlefield. We got to try that, and that was the best experience that I had at the conference. And I'm not huge on shooters. Like I played Counter-Strike for years, but that was about it. But Battlefield and maybe it was that I was just at E3 and I was getting to play with 40 other people in this room, and like it felt so official because like I'm gonna sound like a dork right here if I don't already. But like they put us in this room and they're like, we're gonna have to say that you can't take any pictures, you can't take any videos and stuff. And we're walking in and like it's this little prep room. And my buddy Brandon that I went with, we were like, "Oh, dude, it's so cool! We're like official now." And so it was just goofy, but it was fun. Then we went in and just had a big battle in there. It was really cool. Anthem, I don't know if you've heard much about that.
Yep.
But dude, I'm so looking forward to see.
That was supposed to release this year, and then they pushed it back to God knows when.
They pushed it back because the rumor was that it had to do with microtransactions, and they were like, "Oh wait, they kicked us in the ass for our Star Wars debacle, so let's tweak this a bit." I guarantee you they're still going to be there, but hopefully they're just looking at like I don't mind microtransactions as long as it's like all cosmetic stuff and stuff. That's not going to affect me. It doesn't bother me. Yeah. So I'd like to see more with that, and then like you said, hopefully we get a solid release date on that as well.
Yep.
Obviously, sports titles are going to be out there, and then anything else as far as EA is concerned. I mean, I can always hope for a new Knights of the Old Republic, but we have no.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to remember. There was something. Maybe it was Star Wars related. Maybe it was a project that never got off the ground. Oh no, it was like an open world or an MMO, one of those two. But it was Star Wars related.
From EA?
I think so. Like I said, it could be. I could be thinking of a project that was scrapped, but it was. There's something I'm thinking of, but anyway.
Yeah. Either way. So then on Sunday, we've got Microsoft, Bethesda, and Devolver Digital. So as far as Bethesda goes, this is allegedly going to be their longest ever press conference, which is interesting because they typically are like, they're not short, but they're very like straight and to the point. They're like, here's our game. Like what they do with Fallout 4. They were like, here's our game. Get excited because it's coming out in 2 months. And everybody was like, holy crap, we didn't even know it was in development. It was just crazy. Yeah. So it's interesting. What I'm hoping for, and this is totally possibly not even going going to happen. I would love to see them get up there, talk about a new Elder Scrolls game, and say that it's on a new engine, and then spend a little time showing off that new engine.
Yeah, that'd be great. With the success of Skyrim, I think Skyrim is one of those games that they have sold tons of copies on every platform they've released it on.
Yeah, they're still re-releasing it now.
Exactly. It is, and then they came out with the remastered version or whatever, enhanced edition or whatever you want to call it. But
right.
But yeah, it's if they came out with the next Elder Scrolls, I mean that'd be a huge excitement right there.
There'd be a lot more basement dwellers out there.
They already dumped 76 on us, kind of, which I'm sure they'll talk about there, but It's already been revealed, so they have to have something to reveal.
Yeah.
I would imagine
Rage 2 has been revealed.
Yeah, I would imagine with Fallout 76, they're going to be doing some gameplay and showing.
And we all know that a new Elder Scrolls has been in development. We just don't know what it is or when.
Beyond that, yeah, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping just they spend a lot of time on new Elder Scrolls. But yes. I also believe that's wishful thinking. So I don't know.
Could be a totally new.
I think it's going to be Fallout 76. We'll see.
I don't know. I feel like if they're going to do a bigger, longer one than normal, that it can't just be 76. I hope it's not just 76.
I agree. Like you said, Rage 2, there's a good chance we'll see some more on that as well.
Right.
So, I mean, that's why it's so weird that they're saying it's the longest ever.
Yeah, but it feels like they should have something secret to reveal, because don't they always have something that hasn't been revealed yet?
Absolutely. That's what I was saying before, like what they did with Fallout 4 when they were like, hey, we know you weren't expecting this, but it's coming out in 2 months. Boom. Hopefully that's kind of something we get here.
Oh, that'd be great.
Fingers crossed.
That'd be great if they announced a new Elder Scroll and they were like, oh, it's coming out this fall. I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That would make a lot of people's days. I'm still waiting for Skyrim VR to go down in price so I can try that.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I forget you have a PSVR.
Yep. Yeah, and I don't use it as much as I would like to, which is unfortunate. So yeah, also on Sunday we've got Devolver Digital. I'm not going to say much about them except if you like weird stuff, watch their presentation. If you have no idea who they are, watch last year's presentation. You're welcome. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Devolver Digital. Just YouTube their presentation from last year, and you'll be like, "What the fuck?"
What game are they known for? Or are they?
To be honest with you, it's nothing crazy.
They just come out and do a presentation.
Okay, yeah, okay. We'll have to look it up then.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because there's not very many super popular games that they make. Serious Sam.
Oh, okay.
And I mean that's probably the biggest one that I know of.
Game's only 400 years old.
Right. I'm looking through the list. I don't really see. I didn't know they made Hatoful Boyfriend. That's the one with the pigeon dating sim.
Do they really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, these guys are. It'll be an interesting show for sure.
Oh,
very much so.
How the hell did they get a spot?
They made Broforce.
They did the same thing last year. They were. Everybody was like, "Who?"
They made Ruiner.
Digital. Yeah, I mean they've got tons of games on there. It's just none of them hit super hard to where I can off the top of my head. Oh, Devolver Digital. Yeah, I just remember that presentation from last year, and that's any indication. It'll be an interesting one this year. Just a big WTF moment.
Okay.
Also on Sunday is Microsoft. Microsoft has some work to do. They're so far behind in sales on with the Xbox One, and unfortunately, I think they're going to double down on just their main franchises: Gears of War, Forza Horizon, Halo 6. They need some new IPs. And I just don't see it happening. If it does, great. I would love to get more use out of my Xbox One, but right now it's I just don't have much room to use. The main reason I used it for a while, this is going to sound so stupid. The main reason I used it for a while is because I wanted to use the controller because they had that where you could design your own Xbox controller.
Oh
and
yeah,
I did that, and I had my gamer tag like printed on it and everything, and that was so cool. And I was like, oh, I gotta play it, I gotta use it. And I played Rare Replay, which is just a bunch of like N64 games and stuff from Rare. So, like, I really hope that they do something good. You know, and they brought out Sea of Thieves, which I was so excited for, and it was such a letdown. And I really would like to see them do something with that, like announce just a huge expansion with tons of content and make it free. We'll see. Crackdown 3, I know a lot of people are looking forward to as well. I mean, Forza Horizon I'm not a huge fan of. I liked 3, but I'm not going to rush out and get another one. Racing games are like sports games with me. I'll buy one like every 4 or 5 years, and then it's usually like the one from the prior year. Forza Horizon 3 sounded neat because it's an open world racing game with it, which I thought sounded interesting, and then they added Hot Wheels tracks to it, so it was really fun.
Nice.
But if it's just going to be more of the same, then I'll probably skip that one as well. Yeah, I mean, do you guys have anything on Microsoft?
Nah, when it comes, I don't know, man. I used to be like an Xbox fanboy, like during the regular and then the 360
Original
days.
Black.
Yeah, especially the 360 for sure.
Yep, the 360. 360 beat PS3 out of the water during that cycle. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, look, even just looking at your notes right there, like I was like Gears of War was a fucking fantastic series, but I think I had only played the first 2, and then I think I had rented the third one, played a little bit of it, and realized I really wasn't going to get much more out of it, so kind of shelved it and never looked back. I mean, I don't know. Aside from that, like, racing games, no. Halo, cool for single player. I'm absolutely shit-tastic at the multiplayer and have no interest in trying to get better at it. I just think aside from the nostalgia factor, there's much better multiplayer games.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been kind of down on Halo after 5 as well. Not that it was a bad game, but like
I didn't hear anything about it, man. Not at all.
Well, like you said, the single player is especially people who started with Halo.
Yeah.
The story was really, really cool. It's really intriguing and everything. Halo 5 kind of turned it on its head, and what they did something that I cannot stand when they do this in video games and movies. They basically like incorporated the extended universe, like books and stuff. Which is fine if you're like a diehard fan, but if you're just a gamer and you just want to know the continuation of the story for the games themselves, you can't do that when you do references to something that happened in a book, and that's what 5 did, and that was my biggest problem with it. I played through it with 3 of my friends, and I had to like sit there and be like, "Who's this guy? What was that all about?" And like my buddy, who's a big fan, he read all the books and everything. He would have to explain it to me, and I'm like, I shouldn't have to ask these questions.
Yeah,
just to enjoy this, not that I didn't enjoy it, but it was like that was a big turnoff for me because I was like, I don't even know what the hell's going on. If I didn't have him here to explain this to me, I would be so lost right now.
Yeah, and then with Sea of Thieves, I keep seeing a lot of gameplay videos of that pop up, kind of like how everyone's running PlayerUnknown or PUBG to the ground, and Fortnite. Like I keep seeing Sea of Thieves like trying to break into that same arena. I don't know much about it because as soon as I saw it was like a Microsoft exclusive, I was like, not going to get it. Don't have anything. You know what I mean? Like it looked okay, but it kind of reminds me of Overwatch maybe a bit. Am I right on the mark there, or a little bit?
No. Overwatch is just a competitive shooter.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves is basically you're a pirate. You have a pirate ship. You go out, try to get treasure. You bring it back. You go back out again, get more treasure, bring it back, and while you're doing that, other players can find you and shoot you and steal your treasure. That's the whole game. Like in a lot of cases, I would be like, "That's a rough rundown. That's there's a little more to it than that." But once you play, you got to get that's the entire game. Like it's just repetitive over and over and over.
So
again.
it's fun for about 10 minutes.
Exactly.
You're like, I'm a pirate. This is awesome. I got shot, and now I'm doing it again.
Yeah, it was so unfortunate because the potential is so great there. They have the foundation of something awesome, but they need to do something with it. It's like if you play a game and you do a tutorial and you're in the starting area for a while, and then you finally get out and explore, and you're like, holy crap, it really opened up. this game never really gets out of the tutorial. It's basically just it introduces you how to sail and pick stuff up, and that's it.
Damn. Well, I wasn't gonna play it anyway, but I'm definitely not going to now. I don't know. I all the gameplay I saw, I had like people shooting each other with like portable cannons and stuff like that. So I had thought that maybe it was kind of like an Overwatch type deal as far as like a capture the flag or a competitive type deal. But I don't know. What you just described sounds even more boring than that. I don't know. I'm not really an Overwatch fan either. So
it's unfortunate.
Yeah. I don't know, Microsoft. I mean, get your shit together, man, because it's not looking good for you. I don't know. There's nothing that they have done recently or even in a while that I have wished that I had access to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I can't think of anything. Everything that they've had come out, I've been like, well, I can play it on PS4, so I'm just going to do that. Or, you know what I mean?
I've heard some people saying they're potentially going to, like, they might do like VR on Xbox One X, because it would certainly be powerful enough for it. But then you'd also be alienating people who just have a regular Xbox One. Yeah. So I think it'd be a bad idea if they did that. But honestly, it sounds like a Microsoft move too.
That sounds right up their alley.
Yeah.
We made this new special Xbox with VR goggles, but you can only get the VR goggles on this new Xbox.
Right. Yeah. Oh, it's frustrating.
It's the Xbox One VRX1X.
Fun fact, if you didn't know, if you take Xbox One X and just do the initials, it spells Xbox.
Oh. It does. Wow, JJ.
So yeah, then
right,
on Monday, we've got Square Enix, Ubisoft, the PC Gaming Show, and Sony.
All right.
I'll start with the PC Gaming Show because honestly, I don't really know what to expect other than Day 9. Sean Plott, I don't know if you know who he is, but he's pretty big in the gaming scene as well. He does he has a talk show where he plays Magic the Gathering with like celebrities and stuff, which is really fun.
Huh.
He's also from Town City, where I'm from, which is kind of neat. So
neat.
Okay. All right.
But he's a good dude, and he always does a good job hosting. But it's the PC show, so typically it's more or less stuff that we already know. There's never really anything to announce unless it's like some indie thing that's going to be a Steam exclusive or something like that. Because it's just
a lot of the PC stuff ends up being the same stuff that's on the other two consoles, anyways.
Yeah, but it looks better.
We'll put it that way.
It looks better, and you have to spend $600 on a graphics card to be able to play it.
So I hopefully I assume we'll see some Oculus Rift and Vive stuff there.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I mean, I don't even know if it's going to be anything like super new. It's usually just to sit down with like developers and stuff and kind of, nothing crazy. Ubisoft, they always have, like, regardless of what you think about them as a company, I think their games are often misleading and flash in the pan. Like, you play them for a very short amount of time and they're awesome, but then they kind of they always talk about how long they're going to last, but they never do.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. But they always do, in my opinion at least, put on a really entertaining show at E3. They usually have somebody presenting. Had what's-her-face presenting for a while, Aisha Tyler. They didn't last year though, which was interesting because she was a staple for a while, and she always did a really good job. So it would be interesting.
There was another one of my favorite Adult Swim shows.
Oh yeah,
I can't believe I forgot that one.
So it'll be interesting to see if they get somebody there. I assume we'll see Just Dance as usual, and they'll do some big presentation with people getting up there and doing a dance and whatnot. Beyond Good and Evil 2, I'd really like to hear more about that. The first game is like super well loved, and my buddy Mark, who I did the Frozen North with, is a massive fan of the first game and would love to see more info on that, because this is one of my biggest pet peeves with game development nowadays is they announce something, get us all excited, and then we don't hear anything for 4 years.
Yeah.
Stuff, and it's ridiculous. And then even then, we only get like a small trailer or something weak. And it's annoying. So hopefully we get a little more on that. Skull and Bones is what I described with Sea of Thieves, but it is looking like it's going to be 1,000 times better. So hopefully that works out, and we see a little bit more from that.
Is that the ship? The
like
ship
good
combat
pirate games.
Yes, yeah, ship combat.
Okay.
If you've ever played Assassin's Creed 3,
Four.
Black Flag,
Four.
whatever, yeah,
Yep.
Black Flag, whichever one that is, it's supposedly modeled on that.
That
Ship-to-ship combat in there.
that game is brilliant, and that the ship combat, and even just like the camera, little camera shift when you get into a ship, like I don't know, it's a good game.
Yeah.
If they modeled a game and fleshed out, because the ship combat in Black Flag was pretty in depth as it was. I mean, maybe not so much, but if they really flesh it out and add maybe some more elements to it, I mean, there's definitely enough there to make a good game.
Definitely. Yeah, so hopefully we see more on that. Supposedly there's a game in development that takes place in the James Cameron Avatar universe. So that would be kind of interesting. I like that movie a lot.
Me too.
So hopefully that's something we get to see.
Really depend on what they did. I mean, I don't know.
True. Absolutely.
Like video games based on movies are kind of, I feel like kind of like a cash grab.
It's
maybe.
rough.
Yeah, they're, but it could be good depending on how they want to tie it in. Like if they try and tie it into a movie, then maybe not so good. But if they just try and make it its own thing, where it's kind of more just to get you into the universe a bit more, I could see that being going over pretty well. So
yeah, for sure. It'll be. I mean, either way, you know it's going to look beautiful.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs 3. No rumors or anything on that. That's just wishful thinking on my part. I would love to see, because I love the Watch Dogs games. I think they're a blast.
Are they? I mean, because they've always been on sale. I've never, because I have
one of them. I think.
Imagine it's Grand Theft Auto. It's the same gameplay, but then you can also like hack stuff.
Yeah.
Like you can hack. Like imagine you're driving down the street, you're being chased by the cops. You can hack a street light, turn it green. So as you fly through it, all the cars just come through and knock the cop car out of the way.
Okay.
That's obviously a small example, but there's a lot more to it than that. I enjoy them. I think they're really fun.
Yeah. See, the only thing that what kind of turned me off about pulling the trigger, so to speak, about getting them, because they've always gone on sale. They've gone on sale a shit ton of times. The first two, in the PlayStation Store. It seems like every couple months or so you can get them for really like sub $20. So, but the thing that turned me off about it was Grand Theft Auto is okay. It's not my favorite style of gameplay. Like games that don't have, I mean, I like to have a lot of freedom in games, but if there's absolutely no direction besides what I want to do, I get a little overwhelmed because I get very ADD. I'll start going somewhere and be like, I'm going to go do this, and then something else will pop up and like, okay, well, I'm going to go do this. I mean, I guess that's kind of how it's designed, but like I get frustrated because I want to see some type of progress. Like I
agree 100%.
Something that I can follow loosely that will bring me in a direction other than all over the place. But that, and then there was someone had mentioned something about the main character's personality being kind of
a little flat.
Well, yeah, that, and kind of like out of character based on some of the actions. Like, it wouldn't make sense for him to have a gun or something like that. I don't remember, but
yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's a different main character in both games.
I don't remember which. I think maybe it was the second. Well, no, I don't remember which one I was reading about, but they had said that his personality and his demeanor was completely like atypical for someone who you spend the majority of the second one running around and shooting people, or you know what I mean. So yeah, like so. But I don't know. Maybe I'll give them a shot depending on how cheap they go. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, especially like if they do like a sale where you can get it for like less than $10, I say absolutely pick it up, give it a shot.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
I won't lie. I'm obviously a big gamer. I have only played the first Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the only one I've played, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I just got into it super late, and I plan on getting through because I own them all, but I just have not gone further than that one.
My only problem with one was it seemed really brilliant, but then after a while it got really redundant.
Yeah, absolutely.
I felt like you were doing the same shit over and over, and then taking a 4-hour horse ride to the next city.
Well, yeah, they that has kind of been a common complaint when it comes to Assassin's Creed games, is that they take these really cool little things that you can do, and they just run them into the ground, like the whole diving off of really high things into shit like it's still satisfying like every time you do it, but you're gonna do it.
so far the coolest one, and I haven't played Origins, but so far the coolest one I've seen is Syndicate.
Yep,
that one looked really freaking cool.
The ones I've played 1, 2, I played all the way through 1, played partially the way through 2. I skipped 3 because I think that was during the I don't know.
Which one was the Italian Renaissance?
Yeah, there's so many of them. I skipped the one where it was like the American Revolution one.
Oh, yeah.
I forget what that one was called, but that was during like the PS3.
That was 3,
days.
Wasn't it?
I think that was 3, yeah.
Yeah, that was during like the PS3 cycle, and I didn't have
because 1 was Altair, 2 was Ezio, then 3 was Connor, or whatever the hell his name was.
No.
Then Black Flag.
Connor was...
Connor was Black Flag.
Yeah. I forget. I think you're Native American in the American Revolution one.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you have a name like Steve or something.
Maybe. But
Steve the Native American.
But with the Assassin's Creed games, like Black Flag kind of stood out because of the ship combat and whatnot. Then after that, I actually, Black Flag is a pretty old one comparatively to the rest of them, but I went to that one because it was more open world. I played Syndicate a good portion of the way through, loved the setting, loved the story, loved the characters, but it still had the same old familiar mechanics and whatnot that get a little boring after a while. I did get Origins.
Did you get the Whitechapel expansion for
Syndicate? I got the gold version, so it has everything.
Oh yeah.
I haven't played it all the way through. That's one I'll probably go back to, but I have Origins installed right now, and Origins I think is the best one out of the entire series. But it really depends on the setting that you like. I love ancient Egypt as it is, so that was automatically like a buy for me. But on top of that, they kept familiar elements of all the gameplay from before, or the previous games, but they turned it into more of an action RPG as opposed to like just I don't know how you would describe the other ones. But they completely changed the mechanics as far as combat goes and everything like that. Like you have stats. It's more like they kind of made it like The Division. I know that's on your list, JJ, but as far as like it's an RPG. They took it from. You can
find common stuff in a lot of Ubisoft games. I mean, Far Cry also has like the unlocking towers to reveal the map. That a lot of the Assassin's Creed games have too.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing with all of their games, really. Like you take an aerial something or other, and you fly it around, and you mark your enemies or locations, and you see it in everything from Assassin's Creed to The Division to Ghost Recon, Far Cry, yep, like everything. It's just you know it's coming.
I mean, obviously it works for them.
It does, and it's a pretty decent system. But if you play, you're not really going to find anything revolutionary. But that's the thing, though, is that with Origins, they did do something completely different with the series, and tuning the combat in a completely different way. The combat, and I did my own little review, like probably on one of our first shows here, but. It was it's more in line with like the Witcher series as far as the combat is concerned, and whether or not you like the Witcher combat is a different thing, but imagine anyway, I'm going to talk too long on that. What's next on the list, man?
Division 2.
You know what? We never even talked about Odyssey. Is there anything to talk about with that yet? Has anything been released?
I don't think so.
It's Greek.
Yeah, I mean, they've kind of just shown screenshots and a video, I believe.
I saw someone doing a Sparta kick, but I thought maybe it was a joke, so I wasn't sure. So, like Sparta kicking someone off a cliff or something. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, if it's as well received as the last one, then they got nothing to worry about. So
yeah, my worry is that they're going to take what made Origins great and try and replicate it over and over again until that becomes old.
that's and I like on my YouTube video on this, I actually mentioned that a little bit. I had made it like a couple of weeks ago, and so it was like I was kind of hoping what they would do is they would say, all right, 1 year we're going to do Assassin's Creed, then the next year we're going to do Watch Dogs, and then flip back and forth.
Yeah.
Because they actually, before Origins came out, they had like a 2-year break where they didn't have an Assassin's Creed game.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, they started to get stale because they were doing it once a year, which was insane. So I was hoping they'd take another break, but clearly they're not. So
yeah. Well, yeah, I think unfortunately that becomes that is because of the I don't know. You don't hear too much about the latest Assassin's Creed Origins. You don't hear too much about it, but it was pretty popular for a while there. So
yeah,
I imagine they're trying to ride that out. I mean, they're trying to make money after all. So
true enough.
Yep.
Division 2.
Okay.
I honestly I played it longer than anybody I know, but I had a really good time with the Division. I like the story. I like the setting.
Mm-hmm.
Another one gets super repetitive pretty quick, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, I don't know. If you've got a group to play with, we played Ghost Recon Wildlands for a while, and anytime that I have people that I can play those games with, I always have a blast. It's an absolute great time. Yeah. I'd like to see them do like vehicles and that kind of stuff with the Division 2. My biggest issue with the Division 1, when it first got announced, they had some things in there that looked so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like they actually had it, like they showcased it where they were going to integrate like tablets and stuff, so you could bring in a drone with your tablet and then assist players in the game by dropping supplies or like shooting people from an angle or something like that.
Uh-huh.
It was crazy, and they actually did that with Watch Dogs 1. There's a phone app that you can play with that game where you can control with your phone like street lights, the police cars, and that kind of, and like send stuff after the player while they try to do a mission. It was really, really interesting. And it was just like one-off missions that you did, but I did it with my buddy Brian, and we had a really good time with it. It was really, really fun to just kind of do that from your cell phone and then affect what was happening inside the game.
I do like that. That's a cool concept.
Yeah, I'd like to see him bring it back.
I think that type of stuff right there is what is going to set certain games apart. The problem is that I feel like maybe it's a Tom Clancy thing too, because they remember that game. I think it was called like Endgame or something like that. It was like a real-time strategy, but you actually used voice commands to command everyone. Do you remember that?
I know what you're talking about. I haven't played it myself, but I know what you're
like
talking
it
about.
was so cool, but very, very gimmicky, and it wasn't executed well just because of the technology at the time. But you know what I mean? It's like I feel like that's a good thing for game developers maybe to focus on, like integrating outside things into their games, like the tablets or the mobile devices or whatever. But I don't. My only gripe with the Division, and it wasn't even the gameplay. The gameplay was awesome. I mean, I have two gripes with the Division. Sorry. The first gripe is a little bit minor, and that was just that the weapon selection got really old. Like you got a new weapon, and it was like, oh, this is a purple item, but it's the same skin as your low level one. You know, it's just like, whatever. But my major gripe, and the actual reason that I stopped playing it and was disinterested in it is New York is fucking boring after a long time. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing going on. Just the streets of bare streets of New York during winter is fucking boring.
Yeah, every corner looks the exact same, and there's no vehicles, which always bugged me.
Yeah. I mean, everything was supposed to be run down, and it does look like it. They did a good job when it came to like the tunnels and the train tunnels, or
the subways and the
subways. That's the word I was looking for. They did a good job with that, and they did a good job with like the combat, and they keep releasing major content patches and workups that, from what I hear, make the game good, but it does not take away. The only reason why I keep getting tempted to go back to it, just because it was like Ghost Recon Wildlands, except more RPG-ish. But
yeah, for sure.
But again, it's just what I want to see out of Division 2. Bring what was awesome from 1 and just make get us out of New York.
Throw in some variety.
Some variety. I mean, that's what makes like Ghost Recon, like the Wildlands, that's what makes it great, is because the map is huge and it's the same gameplay, the same type of missions. Granted, there are a lot of unpredictable factors, but it's the same gameplay, but there's tons of weapons. They're all customizable. And the most important part is that the areas are all different. You can go from like a desert to a mountain range to a tropical setting to, you know what I mean? Like it's all represented there. I think the only thing you don't get is like a major city setting, which is okay because I don't want to ever remember being stuck in New York City in the Division. So, I don't know. That's what I would like to see from it. I don't know what they're planning for it, but I think they had a great idea. But yeah, I know there was a lot of people who had issues when it came to the Division as far as the end game content and people being able to kind of God mode it a little bit. But
sure.
But yeah, what was it called? The something zone. What was the end game content, like the big PvP zone? Dark Zone. That whole concept was really cool. But, if you're a solo player, I mean, you're kind of shit out of luck. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to it just because I hope that they learn from what people didn't like about.
Agreed.
I'm honestly kind of surprised they're doing it, a sequel, but not really, because you had mentioned it a little bit earlier, but Ubisoft pumps out a shit ton of games, and they kind of, it's almost like they do quantity over quality most of the time, but all of their games have some kind of incredible hook to them that get people excited, and we never seem to learn that you should just not go for it.
They don't have that longevity.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Call of Duty game. Every Call of Duty game that comes out, I'm usually like, man, I wish I liked Call of Duty again. And then, every once in a while, I'll be like, I'll get close to getting one, and I'll be like, nope, I'm not gonna fucking do it. I learned my lesson, but here they are, still making one every year. I mean, whatever.
Right.
What do we got next going on here?
New Splinter Cell. I'm not huge on the series, but I know the last one did really well. So
was that Black?
We might see a new one.
Blacklist or Black Site or
There's only like 13 of those games, so I don't know.
I know which one you're. I keep seeing
Siege. Rainbow Six Siege.
Splinter Cell.
That's not Splinter Cell. That's Rainbow Six.
I don't know why I said that.
You all right there, buddy?
Yeah, no. For some reason, I got the two mixed up in my head. I honestly don't know
Black
much
Ops?
about
Black. No, it's I don't know. It's Black something.
Or Blacklisted, yeah.
Blacklist. Okay, yeah.
I don't know. They were all on sale recently, and I forget.
Yeah, but you mentioned Siege. You mentioned Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll see a new Rainbow Six. I don't see that at all. Splinter Cell, just because I don't know that we've had one in a while.
I like the Splinter Cell games, at least the first couple.
Oh, you know what? Going back to Ghost Recon Wildlands, they keep adding all these stuff from their other franchises in, like what's his name? Fisher. What's the
Sam Fisher.
Sam
Fisher. There's you can do a mission with him in Wildlands now.
Yeah. Blacklist was the last one that came out in 2013.
Okay. All right.
So it's been a while.
So is that just kind of a rumor, the new Splinter Cell, or is
You know what? I honestly haven't even seen anything on it. I know that it's been a while, and I know that was a pretty big series for them for a while. So I was kind of thinking, like, maybe this would be an interesting surprise.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. This is something you'd like to see then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
And then anything else you guys think on Ubisoft? I know you guys are all about that Just Dance.
No. Honestly, and this is completely out of left field compared to the games we just talked about, but the one game series from Ubisoft that that Janae and I, my fiance, to those who don't know, what we really loved playing was Rayman. Rayman Legends, I think, was the last one that came out, and my god, that game is so much fucking fun still. And I think that came out in like 2013 or some stupid shit.
I wouldn't
like
be
that.
surprised if we see some sort of a remaster or something with that.
Well, they already did they included Rayman Origins, which was on the Wii and I think the Wii U, but they included that in Legends. So you got to basically play that whole entire game by unlocking the levels by playing the new game. So
cool.
Yeah, but I would love to see something like that, something more lighthearted and just like a fun, like that Rayman game was like the art style and the gameplay was really fast, really fun, and it ramped up. So the beginning is pretty easy to handle, and then by the end you realize that you're memorizing turns and when to jump and how to jump and everything like that. Like you through repetition you learn how to get through some of the levels, and it's actually really rewarding. And I think that was, unfortunately it's too late now, but I think that was last month's free game. No, the previous month, so not May, but
I can't imagine it's too
April.
expensive at this point, though. Anyway.
No, I think I bought it for like $7, but it was one of the free games, and I think it was April's for the PlayStation Network. It was one of the free games. So,
cool.
Yeah, hopefully if you guys have added that and you have PlayStation, you have added it and not played it yet, go give it a shot, because it's also a good couch multiplayer, which I would love to see more of too, as just a general commentary, because couch multiplayer has been on its way out, but I really don't want it to, because I don't know, there's just something great about
like
being able to sit next to people.
find
it is
couch multiplayer racing games anymore.
Yep.
Or any games, but racing games especially.
But yeah,
you pretty much have to be a Nintendo fan to get that stuff at this point.
But yeah, JJ, as far as what I want to see from Ubisoft, that would be one, and I know they're not going to, but I do love the Ghost Recon series, and I would love to see either more content for Wildlands or maybe something else in the works, because
sure, I
don't know. But
I still need to finish Wildlands main story.
Yeah, I'm enjoying just kind of doing whatever I feel like in that game. That's one game where you can have a direction and there's plenty to do, but
sure,
you can just wander off and do missions because guns and stuff.
Yep.
All right, man. What do we got next?
Also on Monday, Square Enix. This is probably one of the ones I'm looking forward to the most. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. It's my favorite series on the planet, and I love it to death. But, oh my god, I'm getting sick of this stupid remake, and it's not even out yet. So, the Final Fantasy VII remake, obviously, like, you mentioned before at the beginning of the show, like, people make a big deal out of E3 and the announcements, stuff like that. Like, this is one of those situations where you can go back on YouTube, you can see reactions from when this remake got announced. And people were like crying their eyes out.
Oh, I know.
That's how much it means to these people. It's incredible. I was actually in a movie theater watching the PlayStation thing when they announced it with my buddy Mark, and I started talking, and the trailer came on, and I was like, no, there's no way. And then the title screen hit at the end, and I was like, oh my god! And like the whole theater just erupted in cheers and clapping, and it was unbelievable to actually be in a place like that. I want to know what the hell's going on with it. I'm not a fan of the guy that's directing it, Tetsuya Nomura. He's also the guy who is directing Kingdom Hearts 3. He's directed the other Kingdom Hearts game, and that game we've been waiting for like 12 years or something too.
Yeah.
So that doesn't give me any hope as far as it coming out anytime soon.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating.
See, and I kind of like this idea, but I can see it kind of going bad. But there had been talks about them releasing it episodically.
That's gonna happen. That's definitely gonna happen.
Okay, all right. Which, like I said, I'd be okay with, but I feel like they're gonna milk it. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna release an episode and then be like, whew, all right, we gave the nerds something to chew on for the next 2 years. And you know what I mean? Like, it depends on their schedule. So
the good thing is once they have like the battle system and the mechanics of the game ironed out, that should at least speed up the process on you would think on the other parts that come out. And that's the biggest thing that I want to know about is what the combat's going to be like, because the original had turn-based, and I loved the ATB. That's what it's actually called. And that's to me, because I'm an old school RPG fan. I love that stuff. So when they said they were going to make it more actiony this time, I was kind of like, what are you going to do? So number one, that's what I want to know is what they're going to do with the damn battle system.
See, when I don't know. I too am a fan of just straight up turn-based stuff. Not only is it more nostalgic for me, but it's just that's how an RPG, like that's like one of the signature things for me when it comes to playing an RPG. Yeah. And
hey, he'd like Shadowrun Online.
Shadowrun? As an off note, one of the newer games that have come out that uses a turn-based battle system is it's called Battle Chasers Night War. It looks cool. It is so fucking cool. Like the art style is incredible.
I thought about picking it up.
You should. I mean, it goes on sale all the time. I don't know because I've bought it already, so I don't know what the general price line is, but I think I got it for like $10. But definitely worth it. It's a 30-hour game, give or take, and the art style is good, the storyline's good, the voice acting is good, and then it uses a turn-based battle system with little things like, I guess you could call it like limit breaks and whatnot, but it just brings you back. It kind of blends like the new with the old, which I like that. But my prediction for the Final Fantasy VII remake is that they're going to use the same battle system that they have used in Final Fantasy 15. That's my guess, which is okay. Right. Which is okay because, I mean, I wasn't too terribly impressed with 15. I haven't played it all the way through, not even close.
My issue with that is that you can't control the rest of your party, though.
Yeah, yep, and like I said, depends on how they're going to do it, but my guess is that they're going to use some combination of that, which it will be okay, but I mean, boo, we've already seen it, so.
I'd be fine even if they didn't do a release date or something, if they were like, here's a rundown of the battle system, Dragon Quest XI's coming out in September. We're gonna or whenever it comes out later this year. We're gonna include a short demo disc with it.
Yeah,
that
would
be like dream come true for me.
Just something like even just like the first reactor mission.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So yeah, that's like my number one thing, honestly, for the whole show is just I want to see some on that. I don't expect to. I have a feeling they're just going to spend all of their conference on Kingdom Hearts 3, which is fine. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. I'm not crazy about Kingdom Hearts. It's okay.
I like the concept. I like the idea of it, but yeah, I never really got into it.
Yeah, it's originally it was supposed to be Final Fantasy and Disney coming together, and the first game was. The second game wasn't as much, and this game looks to be even less so.
Yeah.
So as a Final Fantasy fan, it's kind of like, what the heck? And I mean, I totally respect that it's become its own thing, which is fine. But it's not like at the top of my list. But I do believe we're going to see a lot of that. We'll probably get a release date, I would imagine, as well.
Okay. All right. What do you got next?
Avengers.
Avengers.
There's supposedly an Avengers game coming out.
As in
Square
Marvel
Enix,
Avengers?
Nothing about it. Yes.
From Square Enix.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
That's weird.
That's the rumor. Don't know anything beyond that, but that's the rumor. So made by Square Enix could be interesting. So we'll see.
All right. All right.
Also, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That's the newest one that is going to be coming out, and I'm sure we'll see some info on that as well. So,
okay,
kind of neat.
Cool.
Anything else, Square Enix, off the top of your guys' heads?
All I got in my head is Final Fantasy VII. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Ethan, you got to take off, man.
Yeah.
All right. It's all right. JJ and I will finish the show.
We got this.
It's getting late. It's getting
go,
late.
Man, go.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Take it easy.
All right.
So Sony,
okay.
Yeah, so Spider-Man. The Spider-Man game, we've seen a bunch of that.
What's your thought on that?
I'm not a fan of QuickTime events, and a lot of people disagree with me on this, but it looks like there's a lot of those in there.
Yeah.
Like button timing and that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
However, I will also say that when I played Spider-Man on PS2, it was one of my favorite games. I absolutely adored it, and being able to just swing around the city like Spider-Man was enough to keep me hooked.
Oh yeah.
And I would like to see a sense of scope, like how big is the area that we're going to get to play around in as Spider-Man in this. That's number one I'm looking forward to from this game. So hopefully we see a lot of gameplay there. I don't know. Are you interested in it at all?
I am. I love Spider-Man, and I have not played a Spider-Man game probably since the PS2 one that you're talking about. And
I don't think there have been very many.
I don't think so either. I think there was, aside from, I know have been, somewhat recently, there have been a couple, of Marvel games. What do they call it? I don't know, something where you have, a team of the Marvel characters together, and...
there was a bunch of X-Men games like that.
Yeah, nothing worth my time, really, but...
right.
I do like QuickTime events, just because I enjoy the cinematic presentation of them. Obviously timing the buttons and everything, whatever, and, that's fine. But right. I do like seeing, with the new God of War and especially the Tomb Raider games too. They do that a lot too, as far as the QuickTime events and everything. And the new God of War has been able to seamlessly blend them into a lot of the fights, like a lot of the boss fights that you're in with the new God of War.
Yeah.
A lot of it, even not so much QuickTime events, but depending on how you're, there you can do a quick block and everything like that, or you can do a block with your shield and push your attacker off of you. They were able to blend that in with all the normal action without having it be a cutscene or a QuickTime event. So that's been pretty cool too. That's been one of my favorite parts of that game. I don't know. I like cinematic fighting when it comes to that type of stuff, and Spider-Man is a perfect character and a perfect franchise.
I think you get a lot of that here too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect game to have that kind of stuff in. I mean, like I said, I don't mind the QuickTime events because I like how they play out when you actually succeed in what you're doing. But
Spider-Man's all about that finesse.
Yeah, I can understand not. I mean, it depends. If they transition back and forth really quickly, then it'll be a lot of fun. It'll keep you on your toes. So
I think it's because I'm just so used to because I played. I've always been an RPG guy, and so typically in an RPG, when a cutscene comes on, you put the controller down and you watch it. Yeah. Whereas in a game like this, you put the controller down, all of a sudden you see X pop up on the screen, oh crap!
Fuck! Oh yeah, dude. The best part is when they punish you for not completing it, right. like with Tomb Raider, you'll bust your head on a branch or a rock or something,
Absolutely.
So yeah, I can see here. Death Stranding. I don't know. You have that here on the list.
I need gameplay. That's number one. I just want to see gameplay.
I mean, it
looks intriguing, I guess.
What's his name? Kojima?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I loved him doing Metal Gear Solid, and I think it's shitty what Konami did to him. But this is fucking weird. Everything I've seen on it, I think the only draw is playing on, obviously they got Norman Reedus in there from Walking Dead. I don't know. I don't know anything about it other than the cutscenes, which are really fucking weird. And everyone's like, "Oh, let's dissect the the cutscenes is like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about cutscenes. Cutscenes will get me cutscenes will get me excited to see gameplay. It's like, I want to see what you're gonna fucking do, you know? I mean,
yep, 100%.
You know, every time a new trailer comes out for a game and it's just a cutscene, it's like half the time I honestly don't even watch it. You know?
Yeah, and I could tell you if it didn't have Hideo Kojima's name attached to it, I probably wouldn't be as interested.
Yeah.
That's kind of the main draw. If all it was we just got that cutscene and that was it.
Yeah.
Then I would have been like, yeah, not my thing. But with his name on there, you know, I'm a lot more interested, and hopefully it's something cool. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2.
Mm-hmm.
First one was unbelievable, absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's really not much to say. This one looks like it's gonna be great too.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Yep. I keep meaning to go back to that game and haven't yet, and it's a shame. I think I'm gonna make sure that I go upstairs and re-download it to my hard drive because
oh, it's fantastic.
I've been. Do you ever have this where you go through phases of wanting to play a certain like genre type, not so much a genre, maybe a genre. Like I go through this like with zombies. Like I'll get bored of zombies and then leave zombies alone for a long time, and then after a while,
with superheroes.
Yeah, and then after a while, I'll be like, man, and I was like, I feel like playing a fucking zombie game, you know, or watching a zombie show, and like, yeah, I do that. So that's that. Yeah. So I'm probably going to do that because The Last of Us isn't even so much a zombie game, but it is, but it's not. I don't know.
It's kind of like The Walking Dead. They use the zombies as like a backdrop, but it's more about survival and what people are willing to do to stay alive.
Exactly.
And then I've got PSVR. Nothing in particular. I just want to see them do more with it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of all that is. There was at the Video Game Awards last year, there was some sort of an ad for a From Software game, and that's who made Bloodborne. So a lot of people are speculating that might be Bloodborne 2. So
I don't think it's going to be Bloodborne 2. It depends if it's going to. Are they treating it like it's a big reveal? Because they have From Software has. Oh, it's like the anime vampire game. I forget what it's called. Coming out. That
Vampire?
No,
that's not it.
No, this Code.
I'm not sure.
Code Vein, I think is what it's called.
Code Vein. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So they have that coming out. So that one looks pretty good, but again, you know, it's Dark Souls gameplay. If you've played it, you can just expect to throw your controller against the wall thousands of times. You know what I mean? Like,
some people like that.
I do. I love it too. And
I don't.
I mean,
I'm a short fuse.
I do too. But there's something about being stuck on something for so long and getting past it. But you have to have the right mentality. And thankfully, I do, because I play lots of different games all at the same time. So if I get fucking frustrated in Dark Souls, I can go do something else and be completely satisfied until I've like calmed down and be like, okay, damn it, I need to do it again. You know, so right. Yeah, let's say the only game that I've literally ever played where I have spent a day, like literally 7 to 8 hours trying to get past something, was fighting the Predator in Ghost Recon. So
right.
I wish I would have been able to save that entire clip, but I had it on my Twitch stream. I had been streaming for, I think it was 7 hours and some odd minutes, and all of it was Predator attempts. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I was doing this for that long. So yeah, but yeah, so I don't know. I would love to see Bloodborne 2 because the first one's awesome, but I have a feeling, unless they're treating it like some big reveal, I have a feeling it's going to be the Code Vein as more on that. So
you're right. We'll see.
Yep. All right. What we got next?
Ratchet and Clank. I have heard people wanting a sequel. I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see what happens. They just came out with the remaster, so sometimes we'll see that as like a hey, remember Ratchet and Clank? And then, you know, you come out with a sequel later on, like they did with Bayonetta.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I've never played it. I have the remaster, and I really want to go play it, but I have some friends who are really into it, so we'll see.
Okay.
Same thing with Jak and Daxter. This is totally wishful thinking. I haven't seen any rumors on it or anything, but I'd love to see a Jak and Daxter remaster as well. So that way I could not have to go hunt down the original games. Yeah, I'd like to give that a shot too.
Okay. See, I miss games like just plain old platformer games. Like I miss that, honestly.
You got that Spyro remaster coming out. That'll be cool.
That'll be fun. Oh man, that brings me back. But I don't know. Like I said, between straight up platformer games and couch multiplayer games, that's something that should be brought back. And I know they went away because the new trend and the new demand was online multiplayer. But I don't know. I think video game developers would be amiss if they ignored that altogether.
Absolutely.
Nintendo's tapping into it, but yeah, I don't know.
They are, but they're going about it a very Nintendo way.
Nintendo's so fucking weird. I can't wrap my head around it. Like their marketing and everything like that. They're so fucking weird. They make the weirdest decisions when it comes to everything. And I know we're going to talk about that probably next maybe? Nintendo?
Yeah, I mean, unless you got anything else for Sony.
I don't. I think you hit everything that I would have thought of. So
cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Nintendo. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly that they make ridiculous and weird decisions. Like, perfect example, when the Wii U first came out, nobody even knew it was a console.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was an add-on to the Wii.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, oh, that was a cool video. Do I just buy, like,
the tablet?
What?
Yeah.
What's going on? Yeah, like, oh my gosh. And, like, so this new, have you seen anything on Hyrule Warriors?
No.
So, I don't know if you know what it is, but it's basically like, what Dynasty Warriors is?
Yeah.
So it's like that, but it's with the Zelda characters, basically. And it's like, it takes place in Hyrule, it's got a whole world you can explore and everything. It's actually really, really fun. I have it on my Switch. I have it on my Wii U too, but I didn't play that one very much. But the Switch is the, quote, definitive version. And they made it co-op, which is awesome. But they didn't add online to it. It's only couch co-op, so you can only play split screen, which is fine, but it's the Switch, which is a portable thing. I would much rather be at a buddy's house and be able to play it on my own screen rather than having to look at this split thing in front of me.
See, that's weird. Why? Why? That and
it makes no sense.
We had, I think maybe it was last show that I had it was part of the nerdy news. It was the how they're taking away or not going with the whole the virtual console.
Yeah, it's honestly like that's not really that big of a deal.
No,
no,
maybe I'm not understanding it then because I thought that was gonna.
The virtual console was basically a way for them. Okay, so imagine if PlayStation had a PS Store and then a PS Shop, and they were two separate things. You'd kind of be like, well, why don't they just have one store?
Yeah,
that's weird. That's basically what the virtual console was. It was something separate from their eShop.
Okay.
And so they're just combining the two. That's all. They're still gonna release old games on the eShop and everything like that. It's just not gonna be under the virtual console title. So it's really not like a huge deal. It's still gonna be the same thing.
The article that I had presented made it at least gave me the impression that
it's very misleading.
Okay, it gave me the impression that they were going to take away the ability to play like the old school games.
No, the main reason people are up in arms, other than the confusion, because I was totally confused at first too. I was like, well, shit, am I not going to be able to play, the older games now? Are they not going to bring those to the Switch? Because I'd love to play a lot of those portably. But what they're not doing is, in typical Nintendo fashion, I worry that, like, if I downloaded games on my virtual console, am I going to have to repay for them?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be on a different shop. They kind of did that before anyways. They made it to where, like, if you had it on the Wii and then you transferred your stuff over to the Wii U and you wanted to re-download those games, you paid, like, 25 cents or something, which is just like, why even do that? Like, just give it to me. I already paid for it once, you dingleberry.
Yeah.
But so now that's kind of what people are wondering about. It's like, well, I've already paid for this game, like, 3 times, and you're going to charge me again for this because you have no way to tie the virtual console to the new thing. And I think that's a big reason why they're doing the whole you do your yearly subscription and they include a bunch of classic games with it.
Okay,
so we'll see.
So kind of like the PlayStation Store as far as
yeah, but it's going to be Nintendo games like Mario 3 and NES and old school, and they're just going to unload a bunch of those.
Okay,
so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about the virtual console thing going away. I think it's literally just going to be not making it to where, oh, you buying that on the eShop or you buying that on the virtual console? Like, you're going to get to play regardless.
Yeah, I don't even have a Switch yet, but that was going to be one of the, that was kind of one of my, what do you call it, like negotiating tactics to get.
It is a fantastic
to let Janae get me one, or let Janae let me buy one. Sorry, to have Janae let me get one. There you go.
There you go. Because it's honestly a great system, and out of the box you can play 2-player stuff. So
yeah, good deal.
It's a blast.
All right, man. So what can we expect from them at E3, or what are we predicting here?
Well, they just had a conference, actually. Not a conference, a Nintendo Direct, which is what they'll do here, too. They don't do full presentations. They just do directs that you watch. Their presentation is going to be on Tuesday. It's the only one, the last one. We got some Pokemon announcements, which we had Pokemon Quest was announced. I thought it was going to be stupid, really dumb, because it looked blocky and ridiculous. And I've put like 12 hours into it already. And it's totally free, and it's on the Switch, and it's right up my alley because I like the original 150 Pokemon, the base games. That's where I like to stay. I'm not into all the new stuff.
Is that what it is, though? Is that because
it's only the original 150. I imagine they would add the new ones in. Basically, it's like
like the old Game Boy versions.
No, the Quest is like, oh god, it's hard to explain it. You're basically on an island and you go to different stages, and then you choose teams of 3 to fight. And then you can try and recruit new ones to come join your party. And you basically go level by level, letting them battle, and then you level them up and they gain abilities. You really have to try it out in order to fully understand it.
Okay, never mind. I'm looking at your notes right now. I think there's something else I'm thinking of that you're
thinking of Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. Those are remakes of Pokemon Yellow, which is the original blue, red, and yellow. Those are going to be updated graphics, like the same gameplay, other than they're doing the stupid motion controls to catch, like in Pokemon Go.
Oh, God.
I was so excited that they had those games coming out because I love the originals. Those are my favorite ones in the series. But the stupid motion controls. I really hope they're going to pull a Star Fox and make it optional. Because originally Star Fox had the motion controls in that game were absolutely garbage, terrible, and they eventually added an option to turn that off, and you just use a controller. I'm really hoping they do that with this too, so we'll see.
Okay.
And then Pokemon Switch is we don't know any details on it. We just know that it's a new game in the main series that they are going to release next year.
All right. I haven't played a Pokemon game in a long time, but Not since the original Red, Yellow, Blue.
Yeah, and those will always be my favorites. I just did, because I caught all of them. I've actually got a video coming out on my original experience with Red and Blue that has a really embarrassing, pathetic story about me playing. But yeah. I adore those games. They're great because I spent so much time on them. They were just so much fun when they came out. And now there's just so many, and it just gets tough to keep up with it. Metroid Prime 4, hopefully we see more on that. All we have now is just a title screenshot. I think I'm starting to lose my voice.
Maybe.
All we've got is a title screen. That's it. So hopefully we get more with that. Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing, Mario Party. Those are all games that people want. Those are all games that are going to come out eventually for sure. It's a guaranteed thing by Nintendo.
Mario Party.
Dude, Mario Party is perfect for the Switch, though.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
am so excited for it. Oh, man, it's going to be great. And I love Fire Emblem, and I'm super excited for that. Animal Crossing, I tried to get into twice. Both times I played for like 10 minutes, and then just it wasn't my thing.
No interest whatsoever from me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's The Sims with cutesy characters, and I was never a fan of The Sims either.
Yeah.
So, Smash Brothers, we're definitely going to see that. They've already like gone back and forth, up and down, left and right with that game, and that they're going to be showing it off. The only thing we don't know is whether it's going to be a brand new Smash Brothers or if it's going to be a port of Smash Brothers Wii U. So that'll be the big question on everybody's mind.
Yeah.
We already talked a little bit about the eShop, the virtual console and stuff. So I'd like to see a lot more games on the eShop. I really want to see some of the games that weren't released previously as well. I'm actually going to be doing a video on that too. Games that I'd like to see on the Nintendo eShop. So we'll see. And that's kind of what I got for Nintendo. Right. I'm honestly really looking forward to their presentation, probably more than any other presentation on the entire thing, because they knocked it out of the park last year. Mario and Zelda were unbelievably good. So hopefully they come through and give us another great year.
Yeah, let's hope.
As far as other announcements, anything else not under any specific like panel or conference, I would love to see more on Mega Man 11.
Oh hell yeah, man! I just saw that not too long ago.
It looks great.
What is this whole deal about the gear system? What is that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
The little Facebook ads that I keep seeing on my timeline or my feed, they keep talking about, witness Mega Man and the new gear system. Maybe I'm just reading into it, and maybe they're just talking about you can actually change his armor and shit like that. Which
I was gonna say, maybe it's instead of like just transferring powers, he actually has like body parts that you can customize and stuff. He's a robot, so that would make sense.
Like Mega Man Legends. You ever play that, or Legend? Did you ever play that?
I didn't, but I really want to.
Oh man, you need to. that was great. Yeah, it was definitely one where you like went out and upgraded different parts of your armor and whatnot. But yeah,
nice.
I'm down for a new Mega Man game.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
And you have.
Go ahead.
Nope, you were gonna read it.
Borderlands 3.
Hell yeah, man!
I would love to see something new.
Me too.
I have major gripes with the Borderlands series, but I do always have a good time with it. My friends hate me for my gripes on it too. They piss me off. But basically, like I hate playing by myself.
Yeah.
Because then I'm not playing with my friends, and so it's kind of tedious. You're just going through quests, and it's okay, it's good. But then I hate playing with people because then I can't follow the story. Because everybody wants to go, and they just, fly through everything, and nobody wants to watch any cutscenes or listen to the dialogue. And that game's got some great dialogue. So I'm always torn on how to play those games.
Well, JJ, you and I, if they come out with Borderlands 3, you and I might have to play that together, because I'm the same way with in regards to the thing that I absolutely hated every time I got into Borderlands was that I'd have other friends be like, yeah, come on, I'll run you through this, or I'll run you through that. And it's like, no, man, it's like I don't want to like just level up and get the loot and get to the end of the game. Like I want to watch the cutscenes. I want to like get, immerse myself in the atmosphere, So yeah, we're gonna have to do that. Because I don't know.
I'm down 100%.
They're they made that terrible game Battleborn, didn't they? The Gearbox or whatever.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't play it, but I heard it was kind of a dud.
Well, it came out the same time as Overwatch, and it was the same concept. And Blizzard versus Gearbox, Blizzard's going to take it.
Almost anybody, Blizzard's going to take it.
Yep. So from what I had seen, and I think the only downfall to it was that nobody was playing it. So a multiplayer game that runs on multiplayer matches where nobody's playing is no game. I mean, they offered it for free and still nobody played it. So
yeah, I remember that.
And it's unfortunate because I had heard, they had some Nick actually from our show. He was kind of obsessed with watching videos on it and everything like that, and he kept showing me. I was like, man, this looks pretty good. and then it came out at the same time as Overwatch, and that was the end of that game.
Whoops.
So. All right, man. What else you got? Is there anything else?
I mean, that's as far as like things that I know and things I would love to see. That's kind of my list.
Okay.
Yeah, there's we kind of went in depth and we rocked it out. There's like I kind of go over a little bit on my channel the same stuff in about 15 minutes. But,
well, you're the only one talking on your channels.
True.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. We started out tonight having somewhat of a full crew, and then it dropped down to 4 people, and then it dropped down to 3 people, and
just couldn't hang.
It just couldn't hang, and then it's just us. So here we are, ending the show like this. So everyone, thank you for sticking around through all this. I'm pretty sure all the other shows that that talk about stuff like this are going to be talking about E3 for weeks to come. This is our show on it, so hopefully some of the stuff that we've talked about comes true, and hopefully some of the stuff we talked about doesn't come true. But
and I'll be doing I plan on doing a video for each press conference as well.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, man, go ahead and plug your channel one more time before we end this bitch here.
It's Reminiscence Revival. You do a search for that on YouTube. It'll be the first one that pops up. REMINISCENCE.
There you go, guys. Have your dictionary tab opened up when you're trying to remember the spelling for that one.
if I can get to 100 subscribers on there, I would like to do a video on my holy grail in my collection. What I treasure the most, and I think it's pretty cool because I have not seen anybody else do a video on it on YouTube, and I've looked. I'll probably get proven wrong at some point, but I have not found anybody else with this item on YouTube.
And how many subscribers you at now?
Right now I'm at 39.
39? Okay, guys. All right. Let's help him out. I want to see what he's got. So, all right. We'll go ahead and end it. Thanks for sticking around again. And we will see you next week when we hopefully we don't get any more setbacks. We've kind of flip-flopped the topics around here. Not that we really fill anybody in on what we're going to do next very often, but next week Lauren has a good show prepared for us, and it's just going to be a matter of getting to do it. So we will do a show next week regardless. So look forward to seeing us again next week, and so we will see you. I'm just repeating myself over and over again.
The next time.
Next time on TBD. All right. Good night.
Later.